Ford Explorer International Cricket.
Welcome to McLean Park in Napier for the highlights of the third one-day international in this series of 5 between New Zealand and England. England, of course, 2-0 up, courtesy of good performance down in Christchurch and a bit of luck with the weather up in Auckland. The weather here was very, very good. Straight out now for his report on the pitch. Here's Paul Allott.
Thanks, Mark. It's an absolutely glorious day here in Hawke's Bay. McLean Park looks a picture as well, and the pitch looks very good. A lot of grass on it 2 or 3 days ago. There's still some grass on it now, but most of that grass is dead. There's a good covering. It may just do something for the seam bowlers early on, but it's very firm underneath as well, and that suggests with the grass on top and the firmness that there'll be good pace and good bounce for the bowlers. A horrible problem with dew here later on in the evening. The ball will get very, very damp. I think that whoever wins the toss will bat first here.
Yes, encouragement there for the batsman. Bob Willis was out in the middle with the 2 captains at the toss.
Lee, you keep winning the toss. What's the verdict today?
No, nothing much changes. We're going to go up front and bat first on it.
Now, do you think the conditions will be difficult this evening?
From what I've been told by the locals, the dew shouldn't be a problem today because of the breeze. So we're hoping that it won't be and that it'll be a fair contest.
And you're leaving your one spinner out of your team?
Yeah, although we do have Chris Harris, but we've left Tipak out, and Jeff Allott makes his one-day international debut for us.
A must-win for New Zealand.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, we need to come out here and attack and play as positively as we can. So, yes, it's definitely a crunch game for us.
OK, Lee, all the best. Michael, good to see you back to full fitness. What's your team news?
Well, I've come in for John Crawley, and we've got Craig White for Alan Mullally.
And you've practiced under these lights. How do they compare with Christchurch's?
I don't think they're quite as good as Christchurch. They're a little bit dimmer, certainly in some of the corners. But, you know, that's why we came down to practice, to get used to the conditions.
It'd be nice to go 3-0 up.
It would. I mean, it would be a perfect end to the tour for us. We could relax and just enjoy ourselves for the last 4 or 5 days.
Hope you enjoy yourself today.
Thank you.
Confirmation for you of the 2 teams announced by Mike Atherton and Lee Jamon. Atherton, of course, back in the side for John Crawley, and Craig White comes in, the all-rounder, for the left-arm quick bowler Alan Mullally. Just one change in the New Zealand side. Jeff Allott, the left-arm fast bowler, is in for the off-spinner Dipak Patel. That is something of a surprise move. Let's get straight up to the commentary box now and join Ian Botham and Bob Willis.
Thank you very much, Mark. Dominic Cork, it surely is, from the Centennial stand end. He's bowling to Brian Young. Michael Atherton's set a fairly orthodox field with the 2 men in catching position at first and second slip. Nathan Astle, Brian Young's opening partner. Nathan Astle's already got 1,000 one-day international runs under his belt. That's a fine delivery from Cork. There's a fair amount of grass on this pitch.
Well, this ball going late, and that really is when Dominic Cork bowls his best. The ball doesn't swing all the way down the wicket, it swings very late. And that was a perfect example.
First run of the day. It's a leg by Dave Quested, standing at the Centennial stand end. Economy rate of 4.5. That's quite expensive for a new ball international bowler. At best against the West Indies at Lord's back in '95, 3 for 27. There's bounce and movement this time from Cork.
Well, good pace, good bounce, and again that away movement.
Andy Caddick will bowl from the embankment end. Well, there's plenty of bounce in this pitch from quite a good length too, Ian.
Yes, this is not short, but it gets right up there, almost, Bob, possibly at 1 day wide. Above shoulder height, and the batsman standing there.
Caddick has an identical field to Cork, 2 slips in position.
Again, bounce again. That's at the gloves. Luckily for Brian Young, it goes down.
There's a big shout from the bowler. Stewart's taking it down the leg side. No movement from umpire Chris King.
Well, hard to tell from that. See if we can see from behind. Well, I don't think it's hit the body. So there is a noise. Not very much to me like it might have been a bit of glove.
Lovely shot. Long half volley, smashed to the boundary.
This is not a half volley, it's hit on the up. It's that kind of wicket here.
Edged over second slip, that'll be another 4.
A little bit of width there, and Nathan Astle goes after it, as we all know he will do. A little bit of luck. It's a thick edge. Old saying, if you're going to flash, flash hard. And it flew away to the boundary.
Astle on to 5. Nathan Astle averaging very nearly 28 runs an innings, over 1,000 runs in one-day international cricket, 5 50s and 3 centuries. There's 4 more. Young and Astle getting used to the pace of this pitch now.
Well, it's a lovely shot. It's hit on the up, very similar length to the ball that Brian Young put away from Andrew Caddick. Again, hit on the up, and right out the middle of the bat.
Stewart's after it. He can't get there, neither can the long leg.
Nathan Astle tried the ball before. He's gone for it again. It's the top edge. Sailed high and wide of Stewart. fine leg.
England making 2 changes from the side that won at Auckland. John Crawley dropping out of the side to let Michael Atherton back into it. And Craig White coming in at the expense of Alan Mullally. So a very long batting lineup for England. Well, Irani chased it, but he didn't make any impression. The boundary's beginning to flow now for the home side.
It's hard to believe this made it to the boundary. It's an inside edge, playing it down the wicket. With Nastron getting a very thick inside edge. And quite clearly driving that down the ground, inside edge. Now that doesn't look like it's going to get anywhere near the boundary, but there's absolutely nothing Ronnie O'Reilly can do about it.
There's another extra conceded by England. 15 wides and 4 no balls at Auckland last Sunday. Alan Mullally, one of the culprits left out of this side. So England are back to playing both their all-rounders in the middle order, Irani and White. That's square of long leg and will be 4.
Well, there's no margin for error on this wicket. You stray in length and line, you get punished. Nathan Astle onto that Andy Caddick ball very quickly.
There's no fielder there. Another Astral boundary. That's his 6th.
Well, it's short and it's wide. There's no margin for error on this wicket. If you bowl it there, it's going to get put away. And Nathan Astle, he'll bowl there all day to him. He'll be very happy.
Straight down the ground, 4 more. This is a very, very poor start by England. The runs coming thick and fast.
Well, the message is quite clear to England bowlers. If you bowl it short and wide, you're going to get put away, and if you over pitch, you're going to get put away. It really is a wicket full of runs.
And Gough bowling to Brown. 50 up for New Zealand. Good start, Smithy.
Yes, it is, Paul. It really is. Good evening to everyone back in England. I think today it's the difference between a side that probably thinks they can win in England and a side that desperately has to in New Zealand. And we're just seeing some signs, I think, in the New Zealand start anyway, that there's desperation there. They really do have to be very careful today. They have to keep this series alive.
Things have gone very well for them to date so far. The toss won by Lee Germani. He's chosen right, batted first, and his openers have done him proud so far. It's one of those pitches, Ian, where there's so little margin for error for the bowlers. And batsmen just love to capitalise on anything slightly offline or short.
Well, that's what worries me about the makeup of the New Zealand bowling lineup, and that they've left out Deepak Patel. So there's no variation. I think it's also one of those pitches when you get in, you stay in. You don't leave it up to anyone else, because so often in international cricket you get ones where it's not so easy to display the batting art. You get one like this, you really want to be greedy.
That's top edge, that should be out. Stewart's called and catches it. Goff gets a wicket with his third delivery, and Nathan Astle has gone, playing an expansive stroke.
Well, he gets tucked up for pace more than anything else. It's never there to pull that delivery. It's not short enough. It's never going to bounce high enough. So he has to go down to fetch it. Top edge, almost a mix-up there, but the sensible option, Stewart, prevailed. So New Zealand have lost their first wicket, 50 on the ball, and Nathan Astle's gone for 34.
Lee Jamon has come in at number 3 for New Zealand. Promoted himself up the order. Best of 89 against Australia. Madras, that was the World Cup quarter-final. And incidentally, it was the last time he batted at 3 for New Zealand in a one-day international. Good omen for him. Good fielding. Graham Thorpe in there at short mid-wicket. Darren Gough is the man who's made the first breakthrough for England.
Yes, he tried to pull this as almost premeditated, but it was just too full. It was never going to bounce high enough into that cross-bat type hitting zone. So he had to go down and fetch it, which meant a top edge. Almost a mix-up there, Graham Thorpe coming in, but Alex Stewart with the gloves had the situation under control.
Jamon taking strike against Darren Gough. First time he'll have faced him. Caddick's down there at fine leg. It's ball actually gathered. That's comfortably one of the poorest pieces of fielding you'll ever see.
Well, some good cricket here until this point. Good shot from Brian Young. If you're watching, kids, don't ever do this and expect to keep playing. That is woeful stuff. He's a tall man, but he's been tall for a long time. He should have worked out his technique by now, Andy Caddick. Oh, yes. Don't look back at the captain.
Dominic Cork with his second spell. Already bowled 4 overs from the Centennial stand end, 1 for 21. Having to run round Cork and could struggle here. That was the problem. Brian Young had to run round the bowler.
An unbelievably quick bit of running between the wickets, this, because the throw only had to come about 32, 33 metres. And the throw was Croft, and he basically had the ball in his hands, as you see, as Young turns. Now, it's not a very big throw. It was not a very good one either, because it didn't get there quick enough. Young got there easily.
Offline. But just a single. And Dominic Cork has to get his line right.
Well, it's very hot, but the players will be happy. There's just a bit of a breeze out there. You talk about the Pacific Ocean, just a nice little breeze drifting in from that ocean and going across McLean Park. So without that, it would be quite steamy in the middle.
There's no problem with getting 4 there. That's short and wide, and it's everything you don't want from a one-day bowler from Dominic Cork.
This bowling's simply hopeless from Dominic Cork. Short and wide. We can now have more cover in front of the wicket because the 15 overs have elapsed. Well, so what does he do? He bowls short and wide of off stump.
It's brilliantly run. I like the idea of promoting Lee Jamon up the order. I saw that innings in Madras that Paul Allott was talking about earlier. It was in partnership with Chris Harris, and the two of them launched the Australians to all parts of the ground in Madras. Jamon is a busy cricketer, and he has the nous, if you like, the mental strength to influence events. He's not the most gifted cricketer, and when he's out of touch and when his team aren't doing well, he's going to come under fire, because he's not quite perhaps of international standard, but in one-day cricket he makes things happen. Dominic Cork is the man at third man.
Michael Atherton back to lead England today. Missed the match in Auckland with a bad back.
Oh, that's going to be close. Would have been out by miles. Wasn't even a contest.
Well, Hussain was caught in two minds. Nick Knight eventually doing the fielding. Stewart was never going to get up to the stumps at time, but Knight's only real option was to have a shy at the stumps. He's given the overthrow away anyway. He might as well have had a chance of running the batsman out.
Hussain couldn't get there, and nor does Cork. I'm not sure that the right boot was the answer against a ball bouncing as much as that.
The ball flashes past Hussain. He had no chance at all, but Dominic Cork might have done better than this. He tries the football, it takes a bad bounce, and all he can do is boot it over for a corner.
We've a change in the attack anyway. Robert Croft will replace Darren Gough. They've been much the best two one-day England bowlers of this winter. Croft, a revelation really, brought into the side against Pakistan at the end of last summer and not looked back for a moment since. Indeed, the only England game that he's missed in that time was a test match in Auckland. And had he been out there, England may have won it.
It's good work by Caddick in that very important position, limiting them to a single. I'm not sure that England shouldn't have a better fielder than Caddick there. The tall quickie did well. It's a very vulnerable spot. We've given Croft some relief. It's always nice not to go for a boundary off your first ball of a spell. That really does sap the confidence.
Oh, he's quick. That's good work. That's Jamon again. It's rather what I meant earlier about Jamon also able to galvanise the batsman at the other end. Very few people would have taken two there, but Jamon had already worked out there was two just by the angle the ball had been hit. It was a little bit too wide of the fielder to ensure just the saving of the centre. Most interesting to see whether there's any help here today for Croft. It's unlikely on this firm surface. New Zealand, of course, who know the pitch well, have left out their one piece of variety in the form of a spinner, Deepak Patel. Hussain. Hussain's in the key position. Bob Willis is spot on when he says England want a better fielder than Caddick at 45 degrees on the leg side. They've got their very best fielder at that straightish mid-wicket, who's key position number 1. Key position number 2 is the man at 45 on the leg side. Well, that's a good appeal, and it'd be very interesting to see on the replay how far away from the body that was. Stewart's given a nod of acceptance to Jamon, as if to say, OK, I'll hold my hands up, but I'm allowed to appeal.
It's the bounce that's deceived the batsman. Very close between glove and pad. This is more the view the umpire would have had. Turning away down the leg side. Certainly hit something.
Just a little clip of the top of the pad on balance. A good bit of umpiring that was. That brings up the 50 partnership between these two, and it brings up the 100 for New Zealand. It comes at the start of the 20th over, and it gives them a good, firm base from which to try to launch the sort of score that England won't be able to achieve batting last. Under lights here, plenty of dew around in Napier in the evenings. Heard from Paul Allett's pitch report that there was every chance of dampness in the grass later. There's still plenty of bounce in the pitch.
Yeah, there's some help for the seamers if they keep the ball around off stump.
That must be out by a long way. It's a clever bit of bowling. It's been called wide, but you're going to have a lot to watch on the replay here, and Lee Jamon has seen the funny side of it. It's a charge down the pitch. Croft has seen him, and he's ended up in a pretty uncompromising pose. He's also ending up back in the pavilion.
Great work again from Alex Stewart. Lee Jamon is the man that's gone. It's 103 for 2.
Stephen Fleming is the new batsman for New Zealand, the tall left-hander, whose best form came right at the start of this tour. He made 129 in the first Test match at Auckland. Hasn't actually since then troubled England as much as one might have thought he should have done. An average of 32.27 in one-day international cricket. Here's the end of Lee Jamon.
Jamon attempting an outrageous stroke. Croft saw what he was up to, fired it down the leg side. Terrific work by Alex Stewart. Jamon rather embarrassingly spread-eagled in the middle of the pitch. The ball called wide. Not much more could have happened with that delivery.
It's a very good stroke. It's the first time that Iran has been hit on the leg side, and Young has done it very well.
Brian Young struggled for a bit of form in the Test match series. He's much more fluent with the freedom of the one-day game. Much happier to get on the front foot in the shortened version.
Swung away. And a good juggling that by Nick Knight. Great pitch this, Ian, for one-day cricket.
The best that we've seen by a long way. And Nick Knight gets it, goes to throw it, whoops, right, yes, so, right. And eventually it comes under control.
It's good running. This pitch is almost glassy in appearance, almost shiny, even though there's grass on top of it. the bounce is good, Ian.
The bounce is good, it comes onto the bat. There hasn't been much sideways movement off the seam, which did surprise me a little bit because there's quite a lot of grass out there. I thought, particularly the new ball, it might do a little bit. But it's bounced, and it's bounced evenly. And you've got to think that probably 250 is about par for the course.
The man in short at Silly Point has gone now for Stephen Fleming. And there's no man at deep mid-wicket, and Fleming gets a boundary.
A little bit premeditated, I feel, this shot. Stephen Fleming, a very good eye for the ball. He's not had a lot of success against Robert Croft throughout the series. You'd have to say that Robert Croft has come out on top, or both the England spinners have.
And put down. It was a very difficult chance. Andy Caddick, the man involved, and the ball has gone for 4.
Andy Caddick seemed to react to this quite late, almost as we thought it had no chance of catching it. It's hit by Stephen Fleming. And Andrew Caddick, where is it? And when he actually goes for it, he seems to go a little bit late, but he does well to get there. And a little unlucky not to hang on to it. Good effort.
6'5", Andy Caddick, so probably only him on the field that would have got anywhere near it. Fingertips. It's one of the facets of the modern game, Ian, the quick bowler actually leaping salmon-like to try and catch something.
Well, yes, it's a fair effort, but I'm not too sure the salmon race will be too happy with the comparison.
Leg by. Not sure that Robert Croft's got quite as much action on the ball, Ian, as he usually does.
No, I think he realises it's a very good wicket. I think his attitude will be to do them in the New Zealand batsmen with flight and variation of pace on this kind of wicket.
He's already got a wicket by defeating Jamont. More through flight and line than anything else. Oh, there's all sorts of problems, and Fleming's run himself out. They both got halfway down, and then I heard no, and they both stopped, and Fleming has gone. Shaking his head, but he's gone.
Well, there's two problems with this. First of all, there's never a run. I mean, one of the quicker England fielders, no one was going to get there. Nick Knight in, Alex Stewart, the easiest and simplest of run-outs. Stephen Fleming can only blame himself. He's gone for 12. It's now 125 for 3.
Chris Cairns, the next batsman. He's been played into Back in Black by AC/DC. He's 26 years of age, Chris Cairns, and has scored nearly 1,400 runs at an average of nearly 28. And Robert Croft brought a man into Silly Point.
Well, this is one of the softer bits of cricket I've seen for a long time. Stephen Fleming and Brian Young. It was just never a single. It's a silly mistake.
Cairns is away. There's a big gap at mid-off, and they've got 2. Now, I just have to question the field placing there, because long off is back.
Well, I think more importantly, I think if Robert Croft had hit the stumps then, I think the batsman was out, and he would have been out. And New Zealand really have got to win this game to stay in it, and to sacrifice wickets, and that would have been a 1.5 foot out.
Edged and wide of slip, and Cairns will get a very fortunate 4.
Well, if you look at Chris Cairns, the length you've got to bowl to him is exactly that sort of length, because his feet do not move the way you'd expect a top order batsman. He actually jumps out the way, and that's only just wide of Graham Thorpe.
New Zealand will be looking for Young to bat as long as he can, Smithy, and for Cairns and Harris to get a move on, I would have thought.
Well, he's got to make 100, Brian Young, I think. I think he was perhaps the guilty party in the Fleming dismissal, judging by the calling and the way that Fleming looked back at him as he walked off on more than one occasion. So what he has to do, Brian Young, is simply go on and get 100. And if he gets 100, then the others bat round him. They'll get through to the 50 overs. They'll have 260, 270. I still think they'll need every one of them.
He's on 49, Brian Young. Not anymore. He's gone through to his half-century. It's his fifth 50 in one-day cricket for New Zealand. Doesn't look overly happy.
No, and I think I know why. I think he realises he's got to get some of Stephen Fleming's runs as well, and his job is only if half done, half done.
$139 for 3, 140 for 3. Out. Cairns has flicked that away to the man at deep square, Dominic Cork, and Caddick thoroughly deserves that wicket. He's bowled superbly for the last 3 overs, and Cairns very unsettled.
Just waited. I think Chris Cairns just had a mental block there for a second because he's resisted having a go at that short pitch delivery. But in the end, it got to him, and England got him. 140 for 4.
Well, Adam Perori has finally appeared at number 6. Average is just under 35, 110 50s. And he's facing Andrew Caddick. He's off the mark straight away. Caddick has bowled really well in this second spell. He's caused all sorts of problems and has just taken the wicket of Chris Cairns, who flicked that away straight into the hands of Dominic Cork at deep square.
Well, I can only think that this is a mental block because he's almost played nearest the pin here, hasn't he? Isn't that the move, Dominic Cork? Right into his lap he hits that. Maybe he was lurking in the shadows and he forgot he was there. Couldn't have picked him out any better.
That's top edge. We've seen 1 or 2 of those. It's looping away down to third man. It's 2 more to Brian Young.
Well, $1 million stuff here, this. How can you pull a ball that quick over mid-wicket? It doesn't matter if you're on 0 or 50. You've got to look at the situation, and that was almost the end of Brian Young, and with that, really could have been almost the end of New Zealand. Got to use this pitch.
Bowled in, dragged it back off the inside edge, but the Achilles heel of Brian Young is to get caught on the back foot. And that's the point about Caddick. He's been banging the ball into the pitch and forcing the batsman back, and then he fires one up there.
Well, he'll feel really sick about this, Brian Young, because he had to go on and back and across. Andy Caddick said, I know it's got to happen sooner or later. It's habitual. 145 for 5.
Chris Harris is the new batsman, left-hander, brought into the side specifically for this series of one-day internationals. Been in superb form in domestic cricket, but hasn't played much domestic cricket in the last 3 weeks because he's been with the New Zealand squad. Therefore, his form will have just tapered off a little. Showed some form in the first game down in Christchurch, but really looked out of touch in Auckland. Looked as if he felt he had to impose himself upon not just the England players, but the selectors as well. Here's the end of Brian Young, and that's not dissimilar from the way that Dominic Cork bowled him out in the Test match down in Christchurch. That time Cork didn't need the help of the inside edge. This time Caddick did, but it's that shot of Young where he's throwing the bat at the ball without any footwork at all.
Well, it's gone fine of third man. A much-needed boundary for New Zealand.
Well, that's the problem for Craig White when he's going round the wicket. Gives the left-hander a lot of room outside off stump. Wasn't a particularly authentic stroke. It's just an authentic edge, and they're as good as anything in one-day cricket.
Big hit. Just one bounce. Over extra cover.
.174 for 5.
$12 for Perori, 17 for Harris. It's Robert Croft starting his 8th over.
Last ball of Craig White's over was a case in point for putting mid-off back. That's a well-used tactic in one-day cricket, but not used here. Ring of 4 on the offside. You just see 3 of them and the head of the 4th, and that allows Harris to go over the top. If you put mid-off back, big appeal there, but no interest. If you put mid-off back at the end of the over, it prevents the batsman trying that expansive shot. Nothing expansive about that. Not a bad shout either. Pitching in line, but judging to have missed off stump, I would suggest.
That's pretty straight. Once again, the umpire says no. Croft can't believe it.
Well, what's happened there, said Alex Stewart, and I wonder. Has it pitched in line? Yes. Is it going on to hit the stumps? Well, probably missing off stump, and that's why the umpire's given it not out. It's good fielding by a man who's bowled his 10 overs. He had a bit to redeem himself, though, in the field. He let one through his legs earlier. Beats Atherton on his right hand, and Caddick, big man, has to scamper quickly to his left and ends up sprawling.
Real festival atmosphere here at McLean Park in Napier. The local children are beginning the afternoon off school, thousands of them packing the embankment. That's a brilliant catch by Alex Stewart. Craig White picks up his first wicket, and New Zealand now 6 wickets down for 178.
Now look at the distance Alex Stewart has to go here. That ball is angled into Harris, and Alex Stewart is going way across to his left, because if he'd missed that ball he'd have been way down the leg side, but he didn't. He's gone for 19. It was Harris, and New Zealand are 178 for 6.
Gavin Larson is the new batsman. That's the end of the 40th over. New Zealand 178 for 6.
Brilliant catch by Alex Stewart to dismiss Chris Harris. Diving away to his left, got 2 gloves on it. And the captain, he's elated as well, he should be.
Knight won't get there. Robert Croft really angry with himself.
Well, Perori's shaped to play this shot on numerous occasions, and that because it's a little bit more leg side, has gone finer. He's been trying to sweep from outside off stump. When you do that, that's when the ball will go to where Nick Knight is at deep square. But the further the ball is to the leg side, the more it'll go to fine leg.
New Zealand managed 66 from the last 10 overs in the first one-day international at Christchurch. They posted a total of 222 there. And then in the rain-affected match at Auckland, they scored 70 from the last 10 overs. They went on at Eden Park to make 253.
Gavin Larson averages just over 16 in his 51 innings.
Look at the overthrow here. Not the most intelligent piece of fielding from Caddick.
New Zealand 187 for 6 after 41.
I don't think the captain was too impressed with this. Andrew Caddick in quickly, but the throw is way off target. That's missed the stumps by 5-6 yards. And Robert Croft will be annoyed because he's gone for 2 when he should have only have gone for 1. In a mixed day for Andrew Caddick.
Edged away fine. 4 more.
Well, it's just a little bit of width, really. Not much wrong with the length. It wasn't a half volley, but it allows Perori a free swing of the bat.
Back to the bowler, and Perori goes. England celebrate once again. The 7th wicket's down. Craig White picks up his 2nd wicket. 2 for 21 now in his 4th over. New Zealand 191 for 7.
Well, why you need to play across the line here, I'll never know, because this pitch is beautiful for batting. Perori looking to hit that through mid-wicket instead of straight mid-on. Gets a front edge, and Craig White takes a very comfortable return catch. Perori's gone for 24. It's 191 for 7.
Simon Doull is in at number 9. The last of the recognised batsmen has now gone. It's Larson's job to try and eke out some runs with the 3 tail-enders. The man's just come in from the cover point boundary, so Doull hits the ball exactly to that position.
Well, I suppose you have to compliment the bowler on being attacking, but you can still cover that boundary area there. It's 4 or 1 on this field. As soon as it beats the infield, it's 4. You have to have a man out sweeping. By all means, have 2 slips and be attacking, but just cover your options a little bit with the new batsman.
That's pretty straight. Now, why is that not out?
Well, blinking incredulity on Dominic Cork's face, a smile on the umpires. This looks pretty close. It's pitched about middle and off, and hit the knee roll on the line, and could only have been going on to hit middle stump about 3/4 of the way up.
A 200 is now up for New Zealand.
There it is for New Zealand 200 after 43.4.
It's a huge appeal from bowler and keeper. Was there an inside edge on it? I don't think there was. He's hit his leg with the bat.
Perhaps Irani's greatest strength as a cricketer is his mental strength. Good competitor.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time in the nets in Iran, working on his bowling action. He's certainly going to go back to England a better bowler. There's still room for more improvement. He's a big, strong man, and I feel that we can get another yard of pace out of him yet.
It's in the air. And 4. Oh, the umpire's having a little look here and may call for the... Yes, 6. Thought he might. What a wonderful stroke this is. Simon Dool with a good free straight hit.
Shows you just how hard it is to pick up in the blue sky, the white ball.
2 overs left in the innings, and a more respectable score being built by New Zealand after that hiccup in the middle, where it looked at one stage as if they wouldn't get even to 220. That's one of the strengths of Gough. He can adjust. He has all these options available at the end of the innings.
Well, this is well bowled. Larson came charging down the wicket. He might have been thinking about a wide, which of course is above shoulder height. And I don't think there's any danger of that being above shoulder height. It's well bowled. And now the next one, I wonder what this is going to be. I think the Yorker might be favourite.
And a peel and out. It's flown through Larson's wall top. He was given out anyway. And Darren Gough wins the day with his extra pace, ability to make the ball rush through the tail ender.
Well, I read this wrong. I was thinking of a Yorker. Here it is. It's almost a carbon copy of the ball before. And Larson swinging at it and gets a nice little top edge through to Alex Stewart. Well bowled, Darren Gough. Gavin Larson goes for 19. It's 233 for 8.
Hugh Davis is the new batsman. Not yet made a run in a one-day international. Played in 5 of them. 25-year-old fast bowler, and an ever-improving one as well. Gough slipped him the fast Yorker first up, hoping to get through him before that drawbridge could come down, I imagine.
The end of Gavin Larson. See a little deflection there through to Alex Stewart, but it was well bowled. Darren Gough really does bowl as well as anyone now at the death in one-day international.
And that's the end of that. Pace of Craig White, and there is pace in Craig White as well, has disturbed the stumps of Heath Davis. The end of Davis for a single. It's 234 for 9. That's Jeff Allen's test match career, because he hasn't played a one-day international, so there wasn't much point in giving you any statistics in his one-day career. Here he is facing Craig White, and he'll certainly pick up 1. He'd be mad to try for 2, but we've seen some pretty indifferent running between the wickets today, so it wouldn't have been a surprise if he had.
Just too quick, Craig White. With the stump camera. There we go. Through him. Well bowled.
It's a lovely clean hit again. Simon Dool, when he's hit it, has hit it very well. And Dominic Cork did nicely at it long off.
Excellent piece of fielding. It's well hit. It's quite a Yorker. That's what Craig White was trying for. And it's hit very hard, and the ball accelerating off the turf there, and Dominic Cork getting the dive in. More than thorny for his teammates, only 2 runs.
It's the end of the innings. Yorkshire have done it together. A bit of Darren Gough and a bit of Craig White. White's ended up with 4 wickets, which is his best effort in one-day cricket.
Simon Doull just trying to give himself a bit of room, and that was his downfall.
237 all out then in 49.4 overs. Brian Young made 53. Astell played much the best, smashed it around in 32 balls for his 34. And Lee Jamon promoted himself in the order to make 22. The England bowlers, Gough much the best of them. 10 overs, 2 for 34. Croft was tidy, 10 overs, 1 for 42. And that second spell of Caddick, where he bowled 5 overs and took 2 for 10, was very, very important for England. There's the run rate that's required. England need 238 to win this 3rd one-day international here in Napier. We'll be back with you straight after this short break to see how England got on with their reply.
England requiring 238 runs to win not only this match, but this one-day series. Here's Doull.
Well, these are the lights here, and they're really... They've actually added an extra 28 globes added to the 4 floodlights for this match. So obviously they are worried about them a little bit, but they're not really much more than a sort of 3rd division football ground at home.
Nothing like as good as the lights down in Christchurch. But they've really made an effort here to increase the power of these lights. One of the cameramen halfway up that stanchion. At last, Knight gets it through to get England on their way, chasing a target of 238. One area where England have been far superior to New Zealand in this one-day international series so far has been in the running between the wickets. It's been very positive, looking to drop the ball down into a vacant gap and sprint a single. New Zealand are back of the queue when it comes to running between the wickets. That'll be 4 runs of some sort. And the signal is wides. 4 wides. England won't mind how they come.
Someone's all going for the in-swinger. That starts to go and then goes a lot more.
Up and over the top. Short and wide from Allard. That just bounces once before crossing the boundary at cover.
Well, it's a free hit for Nick Knight. Short and wide, and he doesn't even attempt to keep it down. He just flat bats it high, wide and handsome.
This time he chooses mid-wicket. Alec simply cannot afford to bowl the ball that short on this pitch.
Well, this one, the first one was short and wide off stump. This is short and straight, and that really is a free hit with the fields that you have to have in one-day cricket, and that is dispatched with ease.
Beautiful stroke from Atherton. complement one another very well, Atherton and Knight. Atherton, another beautiful orthodox cricket stroke.
Well, last over Alec was too short and Doyle's over pitched here. It's a half volley and Mike Atherton, textbook cover drive.
Same again.
Well, Mike Atherton has shown us many occasions throughout his career that he plays this shot as well as anyone. 2 glorious cover drives in a row.
Beautiful shot again. This time it's Knight off the front foot. Allen is not enjoying his one-day international debut.
Well, this is hit on the up, and it's the width on this wicket. You've got to bowl off stump or just outside. I do think, actually, Bob, that the other strange decision we commented about earlier on in the day was leaving Deepak Patel out. Because I feel on this kind of wicket, you've got to have as much variation as you can. And New Zealand's selection in a couple of these games has, I found, rather strange. There's Deepak Patel, he's been left out. But also in the first game we played on the old wicket, Christchurch, Victoria was left out as well.
That'll be 4 more. Jeff Allen may well put his hands on his hips. He doesn't know what he's doing out there at the moment.
Well, it's either over-pitching, his bowling with width, and very hard to drag it back in one-day games. 26 he's gone for now in just 2.4 overs.
Amazingly, Lee Jamon is keeping 2 slips in position and a gully. Again, another very well taken single. Lovely straight drive this time from Nick Knight. Nathan Astle completes the fielding. The 50's up for England after just 6 overs.
Edged over the top, short and wide. Jeff Allen can't believe it, but it was short and wide, and Nick Knight hammered it, but hammered it over slip.
I'm interested to see the height of this one, because oh yes, well and truly over the top of the keeper. He had no price at all.
Out. Jeff Allen's got his first wicket in one-day international cricket. He's got rid of Nick Knight, who's given him a simple return catch.
Something for the crowd to cheer about at last. Better delivery, pitched up. Nick Knight was really playing from the crease, looking to hit down the ground, and the bottom hand came into play just a wee bit too much. Allen takes the return catch. England lose their first wicket at 67.
Alex Stewart at the crease, number 3 for England, averaging over 31. 2,249 runs, +1. As he gets off the mark, first ball. This is the end of Nick Knight. important bowl by Jeff Allott. Pleased young man, because he had quite a traumatic start to his one-day international career. Jeff Allott, he was hammered all around the ground. He's clung on to that, though, and that's his first wicket in one-day cricket. Didn't think it'd be long. That's 4.
Well, I doubt if anyone plays this shot better than Alex Stewart at the moment. He's in great form, and he just looks for it short either side of the wicket and puts it away, and he's onto that very, very quickly. Always in full control of the shot.
And that's gone between keeper and slip, and Heath Davis can't believe it. Cannot believe it.
Alex Stewart going after it, a little bit of movement, but I'm afraid that should have been caught, or at least got a hand to it, and I have to say that you feel that should be the keeper's. First slip diving to his left, it should be the keeper's ball. It was always outside off stump, then just going further outside.
That's a superb stroke from Alex Stewart. Just picked his spot on the leg side of the stumps, and no chance for the fielders.
Possibly the hardest shot to play. The on drive, very straight on drive, but very well timed, very well executed. Heath Davis, nothing much wrong with the delivery. It's just hit and timed on the up, and this is what we're saying. I think they might regret not having a variation in Deepak Patel, just to change it. We saw how Robert Croft came on and put the brakes on. I suppose in some ways Lee Jamal can argue that Chris Harris is his spinner, but no, he does. He rolls it out the back of the hand.
How was it?
Well, it shows some enthusiasm in the appeal, but I'm afraid that it's only about a foot outside the off stump.
Bowled in, floated into Atherton, and it's done him for the movement, I think, more than anything else. Difficult to say whether the England captain was opening the face to run the ball away to third man.
Well, it looks to me as if he's just loses it again. He's not quite sure where it is, doesn't seem to pick it up till very late, and it's that length of delivery that has troubled the batsman batting at the Centennial stand end. Mike Atherton has gone for 23. England now 82 for 2.
Welcome back to Napier. Graham Thorpe is the new batsman, and New Zealand are right back in this third one-day international. There's the career performance of Thorpe, but it's the wicket of Atherton that has turned the tables.
Well, this is why Graham Thorpe is here. It's very full, a little bit of in-swing, but it's very, very full, and I think Mike Atherton comes down very, very late. And batsman batting at the Centennial stand end, Atherton's already missed one delivery very similar to him on the foot, and they do seem to be struggling to pick it up.
Thorpe and Stewart had a big partnership under lights in the game down in Christchurch. They really did play superbly, driving the ball all over the place. It's nicely placed by Graham Thorpe. That's one of his strengths, just to nudge the ball around in ones and twos before he gets into his stride. Bowled him as well. It's the same sort of delivery as did for Mike Atherton, and this may be the one that Harris has got to look for. He floats it up high into the night sky and does the damage.
Well, I'm convinced that the England players are struggling to pick this ball up. It's the same delivery, full length. Alex Stewart's not happy. He goes to 17. England now 87 for 3.
Nasser Hussain, the new batsman for England. Graham Thorpe, the man on strike. And putting that away very nicely behind point.
Super stroke from Graham Thorpe, picking the gap between cover and backward point. And this is the last wicket to fall. Alex Stewart comprehensively beaten by Chris Harris's Yorker. That's 2 Yorkers, both on target, accounting for Atherton and now Stewart.
So problems for England as the light has faded. So is their batting. Very promising first 13 overs or so. It's been a real struggle. And 2 very similar dismissals by Chris Harris. England have lost 3 wickets for 20 runs in just 51 deliveries. Big shout. Larson pleading with the umpire, Dave Quested, indicating that the ball has brushed the batsman's leg.
Well, a huge appeal here. Larson and Jamon were convinced that it hit the bat. The umpire was convinced that it brushed the pad. Very difficult to tell. Bear in mind we're looking at this on super slow-mo replay. I think that's hit the top of the pad flat, but it's taken an awful long time to decide whether it has or it hasn't. The umpire sees it once, and he's quite right if he doesn't think he's not sure that the batsman has hit it, to give him not out.
Up and over square leg. Chase for Allett, he's not going to make it. England's 100 comes up in the 23rd over.
That's a good stroke by Nasser Hussain. It's what we were saying earlier in the over about using his feet a little bit. This time he's gone one stride, back legs up, and he's hoisted it over square leg. It'll mean an instant field change, I'm sure, because Larson really can't afford on this pitch to bowl without anybody at deep backward square on the edge.
Hussain smashes it away through the offside this time. A good over for England.
Yeah, this is good batting from Nasser Hussain. Gavin Larson won't be pleased. As soon as he's offline, he's going to be smashed through the offside. He's got 4 men saving 1. The last ball of the over letting him down. A super stroke from Hussain.
Harris is in his 7th over. I think England will be pleased to see the back of him, Paul.
He's done a brilliant job for New Zealand. Only conceded 12 runs. Taken 2 wickets as well. And has always been right on the spot, just there. It's not a bad shout. Probably just outside the line where it hit him.
Well, is it possible to get after this bowler, Paul? I mean, what do you do?
Well, I suppose he could hit him over mid-wicket, or have a go at trying to hit him over mid-wicket. There's nobody out on the leg, so there is now, as we say this. There's only a deep backward square, but Heath Davis has gone out to a sort of wide long on.
He's done him again. Quite amazing. 3 identical dismissals. This time it's Nasser Hussain who goes. Clean bowl by Harris again.
Big in-swinger, never seems to get to you, and then paradoxically it's on you and through you. And Harris punches the air. Hussain exits the ground. He's gone for 13. England are 1-1, 4 for 4.
Ronnie Irani is the new batsman for England. And Ian Botham and Mark Nicholas have come into the commentary box. That's Irani's performance in one-day internationals. Played 9 of them now, and with the start he had, that's a bit disappointing. He's here because Hussain has gone. The third Englishman bowled by this full ball from Chris Harris that's caused all the problems. Credit to Harris for that ball, because it's definitely swinging. There's quite a big drift into the batsman. Now, I've just been up to the other end of the ground because I was interested to see what the England players were having to see, and watched for 10 minutes from the end that they're having to pick up Chris Harris, and it is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. There's virtually nothing for anybody to focus on, and the ball is lost in a great sea of all the people and the sight screen, the commentary box above the screen, of course, that's white. All the things that are distracting. And here's another attacker in now for New Zealand. The silly points coming on the offside. And that's a wicket maiden from Harris. 7 overs, 3 for 12. Those are remarkable figures by anybody's standards. No matter whether you're Joel Garner or Jeff Thomson, that's a good effort. He's dragged New Zealand back into this game. They seem to be out of the 5-match series. They're certainly not. Again, the end of Hussain, and he's late on it. The key is to whether you can tell a batsman's picking the ball up or not, is whether or not he is late on the ball, and he's late on that and has seen it late, but it has swung. Thorpe's going to take him on. That's good tactic from Graham Thorpe. Start to make the bowlers think about what's going on out there.
Well, he's very quick on his feet, Graham Thorpe, and here he comes. And whips it away front of square, almost mid-wicket.
...121 for 4 from 30 overs, so England just marginally above the 4 and over mark. That isn't enough. They've got to up that rate now. 20 overs left, 237 the target. It's going to take quite a performance from the middle order. Irani wants the single, and he's well judged. And he's going to pick up more runs too for his boldness. Cairns is giving pretty relaxed chase to that, frankly. I don't know whether perhaps he had already decided that England were going to pick up 3.
That's a good bit of cricket. Cairns picks it up. Chris Harris, the best fielder. Chris Cairns doesn't seem to pick it up. Where is it? Whoops, and just slips a little bit. But not good cricket, really. He should have had that covered.
Yeah, it was a good case for the old-fashioned long barrier. Here's Larson round the wicket at Thorpe. Larson's mixed up the round and over the wicket tactic very well, not allowing the batsman to settle into a line. That's a good stroke from Thorpe. He's got that away in front of square, and it's a long chase for Stephen Fleming, who does well now. Now, that may be a case for the umpire having another look at that, with the third umpire helping him, because I just wondered if Fleming's leg wasn't over the boundary's edge.
Well, the fielder never knows himself, because he's more interested in diving and getting to the ball. And it all happens in a split second, so it makes sense to check with the third umpire. Here it comes. It's a good stop there initially. Very hard to tell from this angle where his foot was. You need to see it from a different angle to be 100% certain.
umpire gave 3. Irani's gone for the big one. It's high in the air and is safely held. The end of Ronnie Irani. Simon Dool is the man who coped with the pressure. The ground went silent. They held their breath with Dool as he was underneath it, and Larson has done further damage.
Well, this is one you wouldn't want at any stage of the day, but this time of night, high up into the lights, and it's not easy, and Simon Dool does very, very well. Believe me, that is as difficult a catch as you could have. Ronnie Irani's gone for 4. England now tottering at 127 for 5.
Craig White comes to the crease with a best of 34. That was on the last tour in Johannesburg against South Africa. And he's here because Irani has gone to hit the ball over the top and paid the price.
It's just not there, actually, to hit. I think Gavin Larson might have seen him coming and just held it back a little bit. But Ronnie Irani, it wasn't necessary to do that at that stage. I really do think that just to play for a couple more overs, have a look at it, and then take it on.
Well, here's a test for the Yorkshire all-rounder. And here's a well-set field. Interesting field set by Lee Jamon. 4 fielders saving 1 on the offside. Short third man, a square cover who's dead square. Extra cover and a mid-off up, saving the single. That's a good move. The only man out on the offside is the square cover sweeper, as is the square leg fielder on the leg side. And safe. Run out on. All happening. We're alive at McLean Park, that's for sure. Chris Harris cannot believe that Craig White is still at the crease.
On, Harry.
Well, you have to say that there seems to be no doubt whatsoever that the England players just aren't picking this ball up from this ocean end of the ground into the embankment. He's made his ground quite comfortably, very quick between the wickets, but just didn't see it.
That's edged. It'll only be 1 though.
Well, he did well to reach this in the end, Graham Thorpe. I think that's been a wide if he hadn't have made contact. Simon Dool seems to be having a bit of problem controlling this white ball again.
He's had a huge problem. He was particularly poor in Auckland in the day game up there, and today again has had all sorts of problems. He's carrying a bit of an injury as well. Edged finer this time, and that will be 4. It's all right, Dool holding his head, but you can't get away with width.
It's the width that costs him the runs here. He knows that the England batsman, as did his own batsman, they'll throw the bats at anything with width. And this is wide, edged, no slip, 4 runs.
That's swung away, and it's gone for 6. Great stroke from Graham Thorpe.
Well, this shot beautifully picked up as soon as it was dropped short, clearing the rope by a yard, and that brings up the England 150. Now 153 for 5.
Pushing hard for 2 here. That's good running. It's called for the 3rd umpire, but I'm sure that Craig White was in very comfortably.
But Craig White doesn't look too worried about it at the moment. He's only just in, but just is enough.
He's been in 55 balls for his 49. And all credit to him.
So quick on his feet there. And there's just signs that New Zealand are starting to feel the situation, the pressure of the situation. 50 for Thorpe, very well-deserved innings. He's maintained a good momentum all the way through, only been in for 57 deliveries.
There are signs indeed, and they're all because of Thorpe. He's ruffled them.
That's pierced the field. It's gone past extra cover. There's another dive. 2 dives. Highly spectacular stuff, and a scrabble around on the boundary. Saves another single for New Zealand. Just 3 more to Thorpe. Good over for England.
You've got to get some idea of the atmosphere here, because whenever England hit a good stroke, there's complete silence. And whenever there's a brilliant stop somewhere, we get rapturous applause. Little edge to that, and he's gone now. The minute I wondered if the ball had carried through the wicket-keeper Jamal, but that was a beautiful piece of bowling from Simon Doull. Late swing.
He bowled one here in the last over that beat Thorpe. This time, just the faintest of outside edges. A good catch from Jamon. It's just stuck in the ends of his gloves. Doull gets the wicket. Thorpe goes for 55. And England are 174 for 6. Dominic Cork is at the wicket now, coming in at number 8 for England, and this game is going to the wire. England are 174 for 6, chasing 237, and Graham Thorpe was the last man out.
And credit to the bowler, that's a lovely piece of bowling. He's continued to make the ball swing and continue to bowl a length. He hasn't compromised by trying to bowl Yorkers at Graham Thorpe. He's using the conditions, and there's a bit of help now in this night atmosphere here at McLean Park. A skid and bounce through there, a shocked look in Dominic Cork's eyes, as if to say that my teammates haven't come in and told me that it's difficult to see the ball out here.
This is the end of Thorpe once more. The ball just carrying to lead him on.
It's the in-swinger and picked by Cork and smashed away over mid-wicket. That's a brilliant stroke and a brave stroke as well.
Disappointment for Simon Doull at the end of the over. The ball just swinging in into Cork's arc and whipped away over mid-wicket. That's up in the air, mid-ons after it. Great effort by Adam Perori. 2 more to England is the result.
It is a great effort, because it seemed to go away from Perori. At one stage he was in control of it. May have been the breeze that's here, but in the end the dive on the run, and not very sure with the footing. I think Perori will probably think to himself he'd catch that a number of times out of 10. One of them was not this evening.
Well, the current run rate's only 4.38 mark, so 7.5 is a big ask. I know it's not for that many overs, just 6. England only have 4 wickets left. But there's still hope. Croft, Gough and Caddick to come. It's going very fine. Perori's after it again. This time he can't get there. It's 4 to England. Do they need boundaries?
There's virtually nothing anybody can do about this. I suppose if you were hypercritical, you'd say the bowler was a touch short, allowing Cork to attempt the stroke in the first place, but it's shooting away. You can see the dew, there's almost a bit of spray beginning to appear sometimes now. Perori with this desperate slide, he made a fantastic stop there 3 or 4 overs ago, and the ball seems to be following Adam Perori at the moment. Some may say, those of his critics, and he has a lot in New Zealand, may say that he might make more of these opportunities, but I think he's doing pretty well under those slip-sliding conditions. Cork wants 2 and will get it. Pace was off Cairns' attack there. It looks as if he was worried about slipping.
The bowler's having to dry the ball after every delivery now. Cork still having a bit of problem with that knee. Well played again by Cork. White wants the second run. Probably out if he'd hit. He didn't. The 200's up for England. That makes things look a lot better.
Well, Cairns gives that everything. That's a lightning throw, and yeah, he'd have gone.
Cork wants the second run. That's good cricket from England. Putting the fielders under pressure. It may not be easy for the batsmen on this surface, which has changed complexion completely during this evening, but it's not easy either for the fielders. Damp ball, slippery outfield. Another good straight hit.
Interesting, isn't it, when Cork gets in, how much stiller he stands and then how much crisper he hits the ball. Fiddling around early on, his head's jerking all over the place. Now he's a little steadier. He's obviously seeing it better, to give him his due. It's not easy to come in and force the pace straight away. These singles down the ground, ball after ball, will be very debilitating for the bowler. He'll want to see a few dot balls.
Dominic Cork's on 25. That's his best effort in one-day internationals. Couldn't have come at a more timely moment. That looks better now for England. They've nearly got it back to a runner ball. It'll be very close. Cork's very quick. Umpire King doesn't even ask for the third umpire's opinion.
And that's why not.
That's high in the air. Jamon's late going for it. It's dropped in between four fielders. New Zealand can't believe it. Everybody was looking at Jamon. He started to go, then hesitated. Then when he started to go again, it was all too late.
I think Jamon may have thought that one of the deep fielders was going to get to this. Difficult to tell whether he'd have got for it if he kept going, but jeepers, that's going to cause some agony in the dressing room afterwards if New Zealand don't win this.
It's down to third man. Davis is fielding. Misfielding. Two more.
Well, it's all or nothing for England at the moment.
Cork's the man on strike. He had the ability in the bottle in Christchurch to help win the test match. What's going to happen here? Here comes Allen.
Well, prior to that ball, I was astonished at the field set here because Legiamon is allowing the single. He's got mid-on, mid-wicket, backward cover and extra cover, all on the edge of the circle. That gives England an easy single. Cover on the fence, long off on the fence, deep square leg, third man and long leg. Now will he have him on the single? In fact, Brian Young has come in to talk him. Brian Young is the extra cover fielder here. I wonder if Young's saying to him, maybe I should threaten for the single. Jamon, it looks to me, has said no. You stay back in the ring. 5 balls, 8 runs, a different story.
Hawke charges through, there'll be a bye. England still requires 7, there are only 4 balls left. Desperate straights here.
There's enough bounce and skid in this pitch now with the moisture on it from the evening air to make those 2 quite clever deliveries from Alec. The tendency, I think, would be to bowl the full Yorker. But I think he's worried about getting that wrong and then giving a half volley or full toss to hit. So he's probably going to mix up his length. But it's clever running too by England. It's going to be very difficult for Lee Jamon to get an accurate throw overarm with wicket-keeping gloves on.
Big shout from the bowler and the keeper. White's coming back for 2. Desperate dive. The third umpire will be in action again. New Zealand aren't sure. Half the team thinks he's out, the other half aren't sure at all. We'll have to wait and see. He's gone. That is out.
And the drama here of the lights and the use of the third umpire adding to the spectacle. The crowd have gone completely crazy, and why not too? That's given New Zealand a chance here. This is the original thriller of a one-day cricket match.
The end of Craig White brings Robert Croft out to the middle. He kept his head in Christchurch to help England to victory in the one-day international. He came in and smoked 2 boundaries off the first 2 balls he faced. England could dream about that now. It's 6 to win from 3 balls. That's a great strike from Croft. He's done it again. There's 4. Alec can't believe it. Once again, Croft relieves the pressure. England need just 2 to win now from 2 balls. They've got it. Does the magic for New Zealand. Croft goes for 4. England need 2 to win. There's 1 ball to go now.
Well, the only thought there is that Croft gave New Zealand the chance of a wicket, which was their only way back into the game, and possibly just getting something on that and trying to squirt a single. But it's so easy, isn't it, from here? I mean, we can make 1,000 judgments. He's made potentially a winning hit, Robert Croft, and heck, I don't know. All I can say is to remind you that if the match is a tie, it is a tie. It doesn't go, there's no count back on wickets lost or runs scored in a certain amount of overs. A tie is a tie, so England would be 2-0 up with 2 to play.
There's 1 ball to go. England need 1 run. Darren Gough trying to convince everybody that he's confident about getting them.
And everybody is talking to Lee Jamon, because New Zealand will have to decide what the best tactic is here. Settle for the tie and go to Auckland at 2-0 down with 2 to play, or risk losing the match and the series.
I don't think Darren Gough will be going through his computer. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to make some contact with this ball. He's got to stop it hitting his stumps. There's no contact. It's a tie. The match is tied. England get through for the 1 run. The scores are level, 2:37 apiece. The match is tied. England still 2-0 up in the 3-match series.
A wonderful match indeed, confirmed officially as a tie. 237 for 8 England, based around Knight and Atherton at the top of the order, Thorpe in the middle, and then that partnership from Craig White and Dominic Cork. Chris Harris, the star bowler, 10 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 20 to drag New Zealand back into the series. It is now 2-0 to England with 2 to play, and they're both to come. The first of those is on the 28th of February. That's Friday night with you at 9 p.m. in the evening on Sky Sports. We bring you the 4th match from Auckland. And also on the 28th at midday on Sky Sports 3, we bring you the South Africa versus Australia series, the first Test match from South Africa. It really has been a fabulous evening here, the best of one-day cricket. The crowd loved it, and that's what's important. For the moment, it's goodbye from all of us in Napier.
Ford Explorer International Cricket.